Okay, hello again, everybody. We're back. We have returned, and we are continuing to talk about Star Wars. Yay, Star Wars!
Yay!
Which is exciting. So we talked about the Phantom Menace, and now we're talking about Attack of the Clones, which is the second prequel film. Yeah. So the prequels are a very interesting set of films because like the first one came out and then I feel like it took maybe half a year to a year before people like just totally turned on it basically.
I think that people had to rewatch it a few
Yeah.
times. The initial shock, the initial oh my god, we have a new Star Wars movie after so long had to wear off. And then the internet just has never been the same since.
It really has not. It really has not. I mean, these movies like the toxic fandom. And it's like, the interesting thing about fandom in general is that there's always that fervor. Fan is short for fanatic.
Yes.
And so there's just this fervor that comes over people and they have to exert that feeling somewhere. And so for these films, that was George Lucas, and he started getting attacked. He started getting attacked.
It's almost like Attack of the Fans, not Attack of the Clones.
I know, yeah. And after this film, the attacks, they revved up. This did not quell people's feelings.
No, it did not make anybody feel any better. In fact, I think we felt worse after seeing it.
I think this is legitimately the Star Wars film I like the least. There are films, so like for me, Solo is like the other maybe closest. It's like very whatever.
Solo is very forgettable for me. Like when I was rewatching it, like last month, I was like, I don't remember this happening. Like I remembered and I had made a review about it too, but I was it was very forgettable though. As soon as it left me, I was just not. I remember the stuff about his girlfriend and Chewie, and that was pretty much it.
It's just for a film where you're already going to have a hard time because you're trying to recast a role of a very iconic actor. And then it's also a prequel. So we it's not like he's going to die or something.
Yeah, the stakes aren't very high, and the movie doesn't tell you anything new. It literally doesn't tell you anything new. Whatever you imagined before this movie came out about Han Solo, the Millennium Falcon, Lando Calrissian, I'm sure is way better.
Exactly, it's better.
I'm sure it's just better.
And it doesn't even give us some of the answers we really want. Like, at least I'm kind of interested in knowing what the life debt was about.
Yeah,
we don't get an answer to that.
No.
And then we get this weird stuff about his last name, which is just like horrendous. It's like, what?
Yeah, I don't.
That's the best you could come up with. What but I didn't need to know why he's Han Solo. He's Han Solo because he's by himself and he's a kick-ass cowboy, space cowboy. That's it. I don't need an explanation.
But they wanted to give you one. Wink, wink.
Oh, yeah.
Nudge. It's like the whole movie's just winking at you.
Yeah,
it's just winking at you and being like, "Are you paying attention to the shit that we just revisited that you already knew happened and doesn't actually matter to the plot whatsoever?"
Yeah.
Are you paying attention? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, are you not entertained? No, I'm not.
Really. No. I mean, there's parts of it that are cute. There's parts of it that are funny, but it's just like it doesn't save the movie. It doesn't save the movie from being mediocre and forgettable.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't. So this film, I don't know if it has exactly some of the same problems, but there are some. I mean, the thing with George Lucas in these films is like the writing is just so not up to snuff. And some of these scenes, when we get into this romance subplot, woof. Oh my God. Now, I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I know, like, there's a couple of people that I follow who are like, oh yeah, this was like the most romantic movie I've ever seen. I'm not even joking. Yeah. I mean, hey, look, whatever floats your boat. If this worked for you, like, cool. And look, on paper, there's some appealing stuff. The scenic stuff is very nice.
Oh yeah, the where they go on vacation is gorgeous. I would love to go there.
Yeah.
But
they're rolling around in these hills, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. The dialogue is just atrocious.
It's just not a believable love story. I'm sorry, it's just not a believable love story in the slightest. But besides them just being hormonal, like that's literally like I can imagine them like banging only because they're both hormonal and have not been around anyone else their own age.
Yeah, and
like it's just
by the way, Anakin is Mr. Red Flag.
Oh my God, he's all the red flags. The only red flag he didn't pull was, so my girlfriend broke up with me because because she thought I was cheating on her, but I wasn't really. And don't ask her. But I'm still so I can stop her. Like that's the only red flag Anakin does not pull. Is that she broke up with me because she thought I was cheating, but I really wasn't. Believe me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this now, so I'm not a bad person later.
Yeah, no, he is the quintessential red flag guy where you need to run away. Run away.
If he was just an immature teenager, like that would be one thing, but he's not just an immature teenager. He's an entitled creep. And you know what? That happens when you tell someone that they're the chosen one when they're 11. That's what happens when you tell someone that you're going to bring balance to the universe, which he doesn't even have a concept of because he's 11. It's like, this is what happens.
Is it kind of weird that the Skywalker, like one of the things that is always recurring is like there's this kind of like the school shooter kind of vibe in a lot of them. I mean, I hate to put that out there, but like, I mean, we're gonna see later with what Anakin does. I mean, he in this movie he has no problem killing certain children, women. Kylo Ren kills children.
He's a psychopath. I'm tired of people projecting like it's the same thing. Like we've talked about this before. It's the same fucking thing with these weirdos who are projecting romantic feelings onto serial killers. Yeah, it's like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's weird and it's not normal. You can't fix a person with that kind of psychology or psychosis, whatever you want to freaking call it. And it's just disturbing. It's really, really disturbing. Or the people who think that the two idiots or bastards who shot up Columbine are like some kind of hero. It's like you're not a hero when you kill innocent people.
No, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the opposite of being a hero. You're a coward. You're a fucking fruit fly, which is my new favorite thing to call people now.
So that kind of reminds me, we were talking a little bit before this about the Obi-Wan TV show, which kind of treads a lot of the same ground as we're going to kind of talk about here. What were your feelings on the show from what you've seen so far? Like, have you liked it?
I've enjoyed it. I really haven't had too many issues with it. I think some things happen just based on convenience, which is like, okay, you have to get them from A to B, whatever. I think Reva is very compelling. I think she's very interesting. I like when I'm going to spoil some shit if any of you haven't watched it. When she reveals to Obi-Wan, because like we had talked before that maybe, Anakin had given the younglings a choice or something, but he doesn't. He just straight up kills them. The fact that she hides among the dead bodies of her family, essentially. Like, I know she doesn't kill Vader, but I want her to. Like, I'm rooting for her. I'm fine with it. And you know what the thing is? She makes a lot of threats. She doesn't really follow through on them. Which in retrospect, I mean, again, I haven't seen the finale, obviously. She is dragging her feet with Leia. She is dragging her feet. And at one point, when she puts Leia in like the torture device or something, she's still dragging her feet. I was like, why is this scene like just dragging on and on about this little girl who's scared and terrifying? I don't want to see that shit. And then later you're like, oh, I really don't think Reva really wanted to torture her. Reva even says at one point, Leia, I don't want to do this. But obviously, like, in the moment, you're like, oh, every villain says that.
Yeah.
But, like,
with her, it's like, it's real because, like, you know, she was the kid who was seeing other kids being hurt by a powerful figure. And
exactly.
An
authority figure, a father figure in some ways, or at least, like, some kind of Big Brother program or some shit. But, like, it's just, I haven't seen the finale, but, like, I wanted Reva to kill Vader. I really wanted her to kill him. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I thought that fight was great.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I loved the editing with her seeing Vader come towards her, and she's just that scared 8-year-old girl again.
She sees Anakin, like, not Vader.
Anakin. She doesn't see Vader. She sees Anakin. Like, that editing I thought was absolutely fantastic. I thought that was really, really good. I liked the flashback scene of Obi-Wan and Anakin sparring. I liked that because you're actually showing me what we never got to see, which was them be friends. Anakin goes to the extreme in it, which makes sense. But at least I'm seeing them interact together in a way that they didn't in Attack of the Clones. They can't seem to stand each other in that movie.
No, they kind of like, yeah.
I'm like, they're friends. And all they're doing is bitch at each other. It's like,
and yeah,
it's just bickering the whole relationship. So I liked seeing that flashback scene of Anakin having to actually learn a lesson, like actually learn, which he really ultimately does not. But and Hayden Christensen looks great. Like, I think he's aged very well. I think he looks really good. I liked him in the scene. I think his acting's gotten way better. And I think part of that is he's not being directed by George Lucas. I genuinely think that. I think being directed by George Lucas will only hinder an actor. I don't think it will actually make them better. Yeah. But yeah. I am looking forward to watching the finale.
The finale's good. I think
I've been busy. I've been prioritizing some other shit before.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right about Reva. Like, she's definitely the most interesting character because we don't know what could happen. She could die. She could turn good. She could turn evil. She could.
Well, she's walking a line that I don't think we've ever. And again, I haven't seen any of the expanded universe stuff of, like, the Clone Wars and anything like that. So with that being said, I feel like she's a character I don't generally see when it comes to being force sensitive, because she's walking a line of, she's obviously done some bad shit to get to her ultimate goal of killing Vader, but we also don't really see her do anything bad. She's intimidating. She's incredibly intimidating. But Vader was the one who was slaughtering an entire village of people. It wasn't Reva.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like she exists in her own little bubble of, is she good? Is she bad? Yeah, what is she using the Force for? She's ultimately using the Force for revenge, which, revenge leads to the dark side. But I haven't seen her do anything actually bad. She killed the Grand, what's his name? The Grand Inquisitor. Fine. The guy was a dick anyway. Kill him. That's fine.
Yeah. Which is like that's kind of like the Sith code, though, by the way. Basically, it was like you kill. It's almost like you keep what you kill. Like, you got to kill to go up.
Killed or be killed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like a Jedi purist would probably be like, no, she's definitely on the dark side. I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of...
She's conflicted, and that makes her interesting.
She's conflicted, yeah, and that makes her way more interesting than Owen.
Yeah, Owen Lars, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about the Lars family.
I like Joel Edgerton. I do like him. I think he's
I honestly like both of them. Like, they both come back.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. So, so Obi-Wan, oh, man, like, we just spent so much time on Tatooine. Like, that's just one thing that comes to my mind. Like they just keep going back to either Tatooine or a Tatooine-esque planet. Like,
again, a galaxy far away, a long time ago is just full of desert planets.
It's like
littered with them.
Like, there's more sand planets than in Dune.
Yeah, there's only one planet. Dune, that's like it's a desert planet, and it's Arrakis.
Yeah.
Like, we only got one, by the way.
Yeah.
The Star Wars had to have all of them, and they
Yeah,
all
at
look
least
the same,
Caladan
and
is
they all have the
nice.
same people in them.
Salusa Secundus is nice. It's raining this time of year in Salusa Secundus. Getty Prime is a little kind of dark and dreary, but at
Well, I
least it's.
like that all the planets reflect the houses.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
why I like. That's why it's like, yeah, it's not just like in Game of Thrones where it's just like, oh, the Southerners are always half naked and fucking each other, and the Northerners are very isolationist and blah blah blah. And it's just like, give me a whole planet of that shit, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Give me a whole planet of people
Exactly.
just being
Then we'll talk.
freaky. Okay, hey, whatever tweaks your freak, bro. That's cool. But like,
Yeah, if you want to have a spider human
I still
thing.
think that was his wife. I think that was his wife.
Yeah.
I think it was his wife.
Deliver my wife from your agony.
Damn, not a
Would it
dick.
be funny if he brought the spider out?
I think
Here's your
I think it was a different. It wasn't. I when I read someone's Twitter thread about that, I'm like, yeah, that's his wife. I think that's what happened. I even mentioned it to my brother, who's been a hardcore Dune fan, read all of the books and everything like that, and I was like, do you think it was his wife? And he was like, oh, it was definitely his wife. Just saying, I wouldn't put it past the Baron. I'm just saying.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. You like whenever you're doing these weird experiments on human beings, turning a person into a spider thing, like you're super evil.
Yeah, it's just a little my little. Your wife is now my spider underling.
I think I'd rather die than be turned into a spider.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe he did him a favor by chopping his head off.
I hope so.
Yeah, actually, I listened to our whole podcast on Dune the other day. That was fun. That was a fun discussion. One of my favorites. Well, anyway, so now we're going to talk about the riff off of Dune, the Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. So, getting into the plot here. So, like, basically, in the crawl talks about thousands of systems are declaring independence and their intention to leave the Republic. The separatist movement has been led by the mysterious Count Dooku, and Senator Amidala is going to vote on a referendum to decide whether or not to create an army for the Republic. Okay, cool. So at the beginning of the movie, we see like the Naboo starfighters that are entering Coruscant's atmosphere, and they're flanking the that really cool like silver ship. They land on the planet. Everything seems fine, and then there's a massive explosion. Ship. And it's like, oh, that's not good. It was an assassination attempt. So yeah, someone tried to kill Amidala, but they killed the decoy instead. So we see Rose Byrne die. Unfortunately,
Yeah, and she's just like, I failed you. I'm like, you actually did your job.
No, you did your job. You took the
actually, this is why you were hired. I don't know who told you in the interview process that you're not gonna possibly die. But this is kind of what you signed up for, sweetie.
Yeah, it's the Secret Service, basically.
It's just a dumb line. It's just dumb. Fucking, I hate this movie. Continue.
I know, yeah, and we're already off to a bad start.
Continue.
So Palpatine is meeting with the Jedi Master, so it's basically always Yoda and Windu.
Yeah, they seem to be like the top dogs.
Yeah, they're the top dogs, basically. And he's like, Palpatine's like, I'm not gonna let the Republic fall apart, blah blah blah. And then yeah. Exactly.
I love democracy.
Yeah, he says that line in this movie.
It's my favorite line.
Yeah. I love that's great.
It's something a dictator
I need
would
a dictatorship. What can I do? There has to be a dictatorship. So
I'm gonna make him an offer. You can't refuse.
Yeah. So I now have emergency powers forever. But I love democracy. I love it. That's a great meme. That's another one of the good things that has come out of the prequels is like the memes are just I don't know what I don't know how it's almost like the weirder the content, the better the memes, because like the Raimi memes too are really out there. And I feel like both of those came out around the same time, and they both have really good memes. So maybe there's something to that. So Palpatine's like, oh well, why doesn't Obi-Wan protect you, Amidala? And she's like, oh, I don't need protection, blah blah blah. But then she agrees. So Obi-Wan is coming with Anakin, and Anakin at this point is a Padawan, which is one of your favorite words. One of Lily's favorite.
Right up there with youngling. Right up there with youngling.
Oh my gosh. The Jedi are a cult, right? Like, can we just say that?
No, they're monks, darling. They're not a cult.
Yeah.
No, they're a fucking cult.
I'll never remember, like, I was at college and I one of my first interactions with like a Buddhist, they had these people out there, they're like, oh hey, you want this book? I was like, oh sure, okay, I'll take this book. And it's like, okay, you took the book, so now you have to give me $20. It's like, what? And yeah, like that was like, what am I? It was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh,
then I
they're
don't
like
want
a
the
shitty religion. Fuck this. And I was like, I never want to even talk to these people. And it just, I don't know. It's just like people think that like certain religions are not as bad. I mean, there's definitely a pecking order for sure.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a pecking order, and not every person who practices said religion is a bad person. But
religion is based on, almost all of them are based on one similar idea, which is create some bullshit, use that to accumulate wealth and power.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking pyramid scheme. Like,
yeah, and that's what cults do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we need. One charismatic person at the top, deify them in some way.
Yeah. 100%.
Perform some bullshit miracle.
Yeah.
And just go.
The Force.
The Force. It's gonna protect you guys. I mean, at least they're not the Sith, but they're basically the same. It's like, no, we fight for the light, but fuck you people. We'll just take your babies who are force sensitive.
We will steal your children and then indoctrinate them.
Obi-Wan was literally kidnapped. He's basically telling Leia or whoever he's talking to that he was kidnapped as a baby.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's terrifying.
And let's just be honest, right? I mean, there would have to be a Jedi Catholic style scandal that would happen.
I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that.
So, continuing on. So, Anakin is like super arrogant. Like he immediately like talks back to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's like, oh, our job is just to protect the senator. He's like, no, like obviously our job, we need to like find the killer, bro. Like,
are you a cop now? Like, shut the fuck up. It's just like, no, it's actually, you're literally being hired as
you're glorified rent-a-cop.
You're literally just a bodyguard at this point. You're literally being rented out. And I love how in the very the first shot that you see them, Obi-Wan's just like, hey dude, why don't you just chill out for a second? And Anakin's just like, fuck you, I'm not gonna chill out, it's Padme. I'm gonna tweet about her.
Yeah, guys, I'm really like, I really love her, bro. I met her once and she's like the only girl I ever loved, man. So I've been watching her. I've been stalking her. I'm not. I've been like,
also, fuck you, Obi-Wan, for hearing your Padawan say, "I've been watching her," and she put a blanket over the freaking camera because she didn't like me staring at her, and you not doing shit. Fuck you, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan made a lot of mistakes in this relationship with Anakin. He's another one who didn't see the red flags, by the way.
That's the thing. I feel like I don't even know what I'm going to try to say. I can't defend it. I really, really can't defend it. Yeah, everyone just ignore. The only person who's not ignoring the red flags is Mace Windu, who is the only one who is consistently saying, I got a bad feeling about this kid. Like, he's the only person saying it.
Yeah. So then we see, so they're on Coruscant. They're like hiding out, doing something. It's nighttime. They're guarding Padme. We see these two mysterious people who we're going to later figure out is Zam and Jango Fett. They're going to assassinate Padme. They already tried once. It failed. The bomb failed. So they're going to send some poisonous worms into her room. That's the next assassination plot attempt. And so then, they do this cool stuff where they put the worms in and... You know, like you said, there's that weird line where he's like been watching her.
She didn't like me watching her. It's like, After they've already had a super uncomfortable interaction where she's just like, oh, haha, you'll always be that boy from Tatooine, which is code from a girl being like, I don't like you like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, exactly. Exactly. It's like, I know that you're still, like, into me like that, because, like, you know, people have told me that you kind of stalk me. And I've been avoiding you. Like, when we were almost going to meet up before, I avoided you. But, like, yeah, you need to back off, buddy.
No, she's just playing hard to get. That's it. She's just playing hard to get, you know. Her saying, you know, you'll always be that little boy on Tatooine to me is not at all an indication of how she actually feels about him. No, they're going to fall in love. It's written in the fucking stars. Like, this is the greatest love story of the 21st century.
Yeah, 100%. like, just, that was a brilliant way to summarize it. So the worms come in. The Jedi sense the worms, so they go in and they kill them. Oh, by the way, and R2 didn't do his job either. Like, he's in this room, like, scanning, and
fuck you, R2.
And he's usually on his shit. He's usually does his job well.
No, he was drinking on the job that night. He was getting oil can. It's like he was just getting a little too much.
Yeah, he's like drinking some oil on the job.
Yeah.
So then Anakin and so Anakin and Obi-Wan like pursue this assassin. So like Obi-Wan jumps out the window and grabs this I don't know, this droid or whatever this thing is. Anakin gets in a speeder, speeds after him.
And all of Padme's protection just dips out.
They're gone. Yeah. I mean, if Jango was actually good at his job, he would have like literally sniped her.
Well, okay, so like that's my question. Okay, so you have a bodyguard, not a bodyguard, sorry. You have a bounty hunter. You have Jango Fett, who is hired to kill and assassinate Senator Amidala. Okay, pretty straightforward. He then goes out of his way to hire another bounty hunter / assassin to kill Padme Amidala. Why is he going through the extra trouble of hiring another bounty hunter assassin to kill his prey? Like, I don't. It's the dumbest fucking thing a bounty hunter would
perplexing.
Do. It is not. It does not make sense.
The only thing that I could sort of come up with in my mind is that he's doing the subcontracting because he needs to be on Camino, and he doesn't want there to be sort of like a trace of him doing this assassination.
Yeah, but he's banking on that Zam won't get caught, but she does.
She does.
And I guess she has to, so that Obi-Wan can go fuck off and do his thing. But like, it just, I don't think Dog the bounty hunter hires someone else to bounty hunt for him. I mean, I'm sure he has a staff, but I'm just saying, it doesn't.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of plot issues in this film. There's a lot of plot issues in this film. So Anakin saves Obi-Wan because he falls off the thing, the little droid, and Anakin picks him up in the speeder, takes a shortcut. Then Anakin jumps out of his speeder onto this other moving speeder, which is pretty impressive.
I didn't know he was Superman. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck the laws of physics.
Yeah, physics doesn't. Physics. Who needs physics when you're a Jedi? So the assassin turns into like a shapeshifter. Like we see the person shapeshifting a bit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
They're able to. I forget something happens, and basically they follow this assassin into a bar. Then we get this fun thing about the whole death sticks stuff. Like, he calls cigarettes death sticks in this universe now, apparently.
Yeah, it was I don't fucking know. It's just a way for Obi-Wan to be like, I am not. You don't want to sell me. Go change your life. It's like, yeah, okay, Obi-Wan, cool.
Could you imagine? Wouldn't it be nice if someone just said, "Become a millionaire"?
Okay, I would love that. Probably, the guy was probably walking out of the bar in a daze and got hit by a speeder. No, I'm gonna go rethink my life, Pam. Sorry.
Yeah, and that guy was in the Matrix too. The first one.
Oh, was he mouse or
He was
muskrat or some shit like that?
Yeah. The digital pimp. Hard at work.
Guaranteed to jack
Don't
you
mind
up.
them, Neo. They're anyway, so the assassin tries to like this is the classic stupid move of like thinking you can like sneak up on a Jedi. Like, doesn't he do the same thing in New Hope? Like he like that's how he chops that other dude's hand off. Pretty much.
Star Wars loves cutting people's hands off. It's what they do. Someone gets a hand cut off in almost every movie and almost every fucking other scene or some shit. It's just it's like, what's all this hand chopping off shit? There's other body parts, guys.
Yeah.
But they always have a gun, I guess. So you're gonna just, I don't fucking know.
So then they take this person outside. They're questioning her, and right before she can give up some information, hey, she dies. And then we see Jango Fett fly away. Now, again, so if you could snipe this person before they talk, why not just shoot one or both of them?
Yeah, he's a really bad bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's which is funny too, because like his son is like the best bounty hunter.
Yeah, because he learned about all his dad's fuck ups. Like, oh, my dad did all my dad was a contracted bounty hunter who then subcontracted another bounty hunter who that bounty hunter cocked up the original assassination. I'm just gonna do the job myself. And you know what? He's a better bounty hunter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to engage with a freaking Jedi, although he does eventually end up engaging with a Jedi, and it doesn't end well. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like
a lot longer.
I feel like they it's so funny. Like, there's some things that are like kind of very inconsistent in this film series. The bounty hunter stuff is definitely one of them, because like Boba Fett is so good at his job in Empire, but then he's immediately just like, they clown him. They just like clown him so bad in Return of the Jedi, where he just gets like Han beats him and he's blind. Boba Fett, what? Oh, you Han, you knocked him into the
you just accidentally bopped him into the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's like, wait, this guy was like the smartest dude in the universe in the last movie. How is this dude like? It's like freaking.
He was just not aware of his surroundings. Common mistake, especially when there's a Sarlacc pit right there. Excitement of the execution, everything goes wrong. It's like everybody had those days.
Yeah, I know, really. Yeah, I mean, and he had a really bad day.
Yeah, he had a really bad day.
He had a really bad day. So, all right. So then Obi-Wan and Anakin, they kind of talk about what happened to the Jedi Council. And, again, we talk about the prophecy. Anakin's supposed to be the one to bring balance to the Force, blah, 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 this and that. Not like there isn't any pressure in that. Not like that would cause a person to, I don't know, maybe go a little crazy. But Jedi aren't really worried about that. They think everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, they're very complacent.
They are, yeah. And they're kind of idiots, right? Like, they're totally idiots.
Yeah,
like, they're working for the Sith Lord.
Yeah, they're like, you're... Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's supposed to be like, oh, this is what happens when governments get too comfortable in how things are being done, that someone can just, come along and fuck shit up. Which is like, yeah, sure. That actually literally happened in 2016.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're kind of living through it, and we're like, yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things now is like people. There are people who complain about The Force Awakens. They're like, it's so unrealistic that people would just allow these fascists to take power again. And I'm like, really?
Germany,
well,
1930s.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can say that. You can say that, but I feel like the world that we live in is totally a counterfactual to that argument.
Yeah, Joseph Stalin. Saddam Hussein.
I mean, now,
Osama bin Laden. Like, people let crazy motherfuckers take over and have power every single day. Every single day, someone is letting someone do that.
Right now, the Russian government invaded Ukraine, and they are trying to enact genocide. And to be honest, there's a lot of countries that are like, well, the gas prices are getting kind of high, and so we don't really want to piss anybody off. And so it's like they literally don't care about. It's like, do I want the gas prices to be high, or do I want these people to get exterminated? Well, I kind of want low gas prices, so I'm going to maybe look the other way a little bit as much as I can.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like all the German towns and villages who were just like, we didn't know there was a concentration camp there. Yeah. What? Like, must be really nice. Must be so nice.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the resurgence of the and I mean another great scene in Obi-Wan is when they there's that trucker, this alien trucker dude with the freaking Empire symbol on his like on the back of his truck. I mean, you think that guy's not happy with the First Order came back? That guy's ecstatic. He's like, oh yeah, he says like, we all just need a little bit of order, like,
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, so then basically Anakin gets dispatched to take care of Padme and protect her while Obi-Wan, figures out what's going on with this bounty hunter. And while she's gone, Jar Jar is put in charge. Well, he becomes the senator. No, I'm serious. Not only that,
I know, that's why it's just laughable.
Yeah. Not only that, but then they freaking trick him into destroying the Republic later on. And then she just like Padme says to him, "Don't look at me like that. It makes me uncomfortable." Like she literally says that to him.
And he's just like,
yeah. And then he's also like, again, he's super arrogant. He's complaining about, oh, Obi-Wan's holding me back. Obi-Wan's doing that. The Jedi Council does this and this and that. Okay, buddy. Well, maybe you should look in a mirror. Figure out that you're not hot shit.
Yeah, you kind of suck.
Yeah. So then Obi-Wan meets with Dex, this like dude, this alien that owns a diner. And Dex basically tells him, oh yeah, this dart, it came from Kamino, and these Kaminoans are cloners who will make clones of people for a lot of money. And then Obi-Wan looks into that. He can't find it in the archives anymore. It was removed for some reason. But he figures out basically where it is, and so he's sent off there to, figure out what's up with Kamino. There's some more stuff with Padme and Anakin. Again, more of this, silly flirtiness. She like has this meeting on Naboo with all of these other, basically politicians, and again, like he's like, well, I'm the head of security, so you need to do what I say. And she's like, listen, you fucking idiot. Did you not pay attention to the first movie where they tried to capture me and I had like 5 decoys so I didn't get caught? And at the beginning of this movie where I was flying in a Naboo starfighter so that when the bomb went off, I didn't get killed. Like, I know what I'm doing. So you listen to me, you idiot. You're just here to tag along.
I literally sieged my own palace and won.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? Have you been doing meditation? That's cute.
Yeah, that's really cute. Sit down and shut up. You're here to look pretty and hold a laser sword. You are a useful idiot. I'm the brains of this operation.
Literally.
So then Obi-Wan finds Kamino, and he flies there. And when he gets there, basically he's met by these really tall, slender aliens. And they're like, "Oh, hello! We've been expecting you. Here, your clone army is almost ready." He's like, "What?"
Like, I need to check my card because I do not remember placing an order.
Yeah. Yeah, and so
I will say I don't hate the scene on Kamino. I actually don't hate it.
Kamino's cool.
I think the aliens are one of the few things in this franchise that have aged well. I think the aliens actually look kind of cool. They're kind of cute.
Yeah, they're very nice. They
never know that they were eugenic fucking scientists, horrible monsters.
Well, they're well paid, so they have good manners.
They have very good manners for being horrible scientists.
I know, yeah. I mean, and they like the clone army is really kind of messed up in a lot of ways because they're genetically engineered to obey orders. Like these are like
it's a slave army. Just call it what it is. It's a slave army.
I mean, it's not only that, but like again, we're gonna find out with Order 66. Like they will kill anybody.
Yeah.
If told to by their master.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Only
so this is the ultimate
stormtrooper names too. Like they don't really give any of them names. I think what is it like Cody or something like
Commander
that?
Cody, yeah.
Commander Cody has a name, but then he immediately turns on Obi-Wan, and then it's just like, okay, that guy's a dick. It's like, and then you see them in Obi-Wan, and they're just like left to die. It's like, it's almost like
one of them's homeless. One of them is a homeless veteran. I loved that. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah. So like, spare some change, spare some credits.
Yeah, spare some credits.
I'm a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
No, literally.
And he gives them money.
It's almost like what we do to our veterans in real life.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, and so I think what was it, Cypher Diaz? You said like Cypher Diaz was the one who put in the order for these clones.
I don't really remember who it was because I thought it was very convoluted and didn't make any sense. And just
it is convoluted.
It's just like, it's just this random character that we've never seen before and know nothing about. But he placed this order. He used your card, Obi-Wan. He used the company card to play. And it's like, what? Why? When? How long has this been planned? This is a lot of people to create in a short period of time. I think they say, they grow very fast or some shit like that. I'm like, okay, but still,
they've accelerated.
This is a lot of people. This is a lot of clones, and it's very convoluted and stupid.
Yeah. Because these aren't even actually like stormtroopers. Like stormtroopers, like we find later. Yeah, stormtroopers are like, I mean, they're the predecessor, but like the Empire either recruits people or, I think the Empire basically just recruits people. But yeah, the First Order wouldn't enslave people; they would just snatch people from a planet.
Sounds like the
Jedi. That's true. Conscription, as they call it. So Anakin and Padme, they're having their little romantic getaway. And he says like, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough. And then he starts stroking her.
Yo.
I like things that are soft. I think he says that.
I mean, I get it. You come from a planet of sand. I probably would hate it too. But like, oh my God, you're so creepy. He's so creepy. It's just, it just makes.
But she's feeling it. She's feeling it.
And there's something wrong with her. Okay, there is something wrong with Padme. There is something genuinely wrong with her. And it's not just like, this is literally a young woman who has been doing nothing but be a public servant her entire life. Has she ever actually like, we used to frolic here when we were kids? I'm like, when? You have no parents. She
talks about some other boy later.
I don't give a shit about that kid. Like, you have no parents. There's no parental supervision. You have no siblings. You have no friends. The only friends you seem to have are your decoys who are literally hired just to die for you. So you can't even really be like that really good friends with them. And you've literally just done nothing but be a public servant since you were 10. So there is something wrong with Padme. Deeply wrong. And it's basically neither of them got to have a childhood, and this is the only romantic relationship they've ever had, and that's why they talk like annoying, ugly, gross teenagers. Sorry.
I can't say I disagree.
And she's complacent as fuck too. Ugh.
Yeah.
But no, they smooch after the sand rubbing.
Yeah, it is.
And she's like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, why though? I'm like, who cares? No one's around.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's not like she's married. She's never been married.
Neither of them are married. Neither of them are promised or betrothed to anyone. It's just like, don't tell me Jedis don't get freaky sometimes, okay? Just like, I don't buy it at all.
Yeah, no. No, I mean, they all get down.
No, they're trying to push this
I mean, how do you think there are more Yodas?
Exactly. Like they're trying to push this Romeo and Juliet shit onto it, and it's just like I don't see why they can't be together. I get that like the Jedi are supposed to not have families and shit like that. I'm just like, but if you had families and got some new blood, and you wouldn't have to keep kidnapping babies, like, yeah, it's just.
No, the Jedi are messed up. They're messed up.
It's stupid.
So then, Obi-Wan meets the original host, the what these things are cloned after, and it's Jango Fett, the bounty hunter. And they have a little discussion, which is fun. They both kind of know, something's up with the other person.
Yeah, the subtext is very obvious. Like, I know you tried to kill Padme. He's like, yeah, definitely did.
Yeah.
I fucked it up too.
yeah. But I killed her. And next time I'm going to kill you. So, yeah. And, like, he has his son, Boba. Boba Fett's there. And, like, yeah, the aliens are super polite. Like, oh, hey, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then she walks away.
He came to see the lab.
Yeah,
they're
just
like,
believe it. Like, it's the first time in years they've ever come to see us and our amazing work.
It's crazy. It's like, do you watch the news and figure out what's going on, and maybe a Jedi being there isn't what you want?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's
like,
funny.
Oh my god.
No, but they're the friendliest, like they're like a brontosaurus.
Basically, yeah. They're a cute little alien, tall alien, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I actually do like the scene of Jango and Obi-Wan talking, because you both, like, I knew. Yeah. There's like, I was there. You can't prove it.
Yeah.
And then you have those baby Boba being like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
yeah.
Dad, I'm hungry. Can we have dinner now?
He's like, no, Boba. Close the door so you can't see my stuff. Yeah. Exactly. So then, we cut back to the whirlwind romance. It continues. They're in the countryside chatting. And then we get this. So, like, one thing I will say about this conversation, like, I will say I'll give George credit, because I think he kind of, like, he maybe didn't know it. I mean, he probably didn't know it, but, like, he kind of hits on something here that I think is really kind of important. In this conversation, like, basically Anakin just flat out says, like, oh, well, I don't believe in democracy. Like, I think it's stupid. I think what should happen is someone tells everyone what to do, and then that person forces them to do it. And then she's like, well, that sounds like a dictatorship to me.
It doesn't sound like a dictatorship. It is, Padme. You're just trying to be nice.
Yeah, you're just trying to be nice because you're thirsty for this dude for some reason.
You're just trying to be nice to the fascists you're frolicking with. Yeah, I mean, this is frolicking with fascists.
Yeah, this is a big red flag. Like, this is like I always joked, but I really seriously think, like, it's the equivalent of saying, like, yeah, I kind of like Trump, but I just don't think he went far enough. Like, that's basically what Anakin says in this conversation. Straight up. Like, that's what he says. And she just, like, says no reaction, really.
Again, the
complete. They laugh at the end of it.
A woman who has literally, again, devoted her entire life to democracy and public service. Well, that sounds like a dictatorship to me, but I'm just going to keep playing with this flower and make out with you later. It's just like, what the fuck, Padme? He's literally saying what you have devoted your entire life to is stupid.
It's stupid.
And you want to marry this guy.
Yeah.
Like, if Ryan told me, like, if I told Ryan what my dreams were and he said, well, I just think that's stupid.
Oh.
I would be like, okay, bye. It's like,
well, right? Yeah.
I have had a partner who told me what I like doing is stupid. And it's not a good feeling. It doesn't make you feel. It doesn't make you want to frolic with them. It makes you want to punch them in the fucking face.
Yeah.
You stupid fruit fly.
Yeah.
But it's Hayden Christensen, so he's cute. So it's also one of those things where we just give a pass to good-looking people when they say terrible things. It's like...
That's kind of true. I mean, it's also like... Again, it's like one thing I think is really kind of effective about the scene is, like, the way, because like there are people that will talk like this, the way Anakin sort of puts out these ideas, and they are very sophomoric and like not well thought out, and the end logic is literally a dictatorship. But like you said, he's like, oh, he's cute and he's young and he's dumb, and it's like, oh, it's okay, he's gonna grow out of it. Maybe not.
I think he's gonna grow into a black suit and a cape with a helmet
and
a laser sword. I think that's what he's growing into.
Yeah. He's a problematic person. And now, so the other thing I will say too is like, again, it does make sense that he would have these ideas. Like, he's from Tatooine, this shithole, this horrible place where it's run by the Hutts. And he was enslaved, and his mom was enslaved. So, like, to him, democracy is anathema. It's like, what?
Yeah, no. He really has no concept of democracy, and it's never worked for him.
And then after that, he trades that in for the Jedi, right?
Yeah, and he trades it in for the Jedi. Really, they made their own monster. Anakin was made. He was literally made into what he became, and it's also because of all the complacency he's surrounded by. Yeah. Because Padme doesn't tell him that she thinks it's wrong. She just says, "Oh, it sounds like a dictatorship." La la da da. And then fucking Obi-Wan is just like, "Don't talk like that." And he's like, "Why?" And doesn't give him an explanation as to why. Oh, because, the light side is right. Why is the light side right? Because it's always been that way. That's not an answer.
Yeah. Or it's like, why can't I save my mom? Oh, well, possession leads to the dark side, so she has to die. What?
It's like, no, that's also a shitty answer too. So it's just like, Anakin was made by the people around him, and they reaped what they sow. And
then later on, it's like, oh yeah, your wife's gonna die too. We know that you are having this affair with her. Now we won't sanction it, but we will take the children when they're of age. We will take them and train them. But she's
I don't know if that's ever actually said in Revenge of the Sith. I don't know if it's ever actually. I mean, Obi-Wan's basically like, oh, Anakin's the father, right? Like, I know, like it's a thing.
Well, he does say that. He does say that. Yeah.
Anakin has to know in the back of his mind that his wife's pregnant, and if the Jedi sense that his children are force sensitive, they're going to get snatched. They're going to be taken from him.
Yes.
So that just fuels his fire to be like, to save Padme and hopefully just get her. I feel like the thing is with the third movie, he should have just sent Padme away somewhere.
He didn't know about the pregnancy though.
Yeah, he did. And Padme tells him that she's pregnant. He gets back from they crash the ship, and then they're like, oh no, we can't meet here, but let me mac on you because people will definitely. Yeah. and she's like, Anakin, something wonderful's happened. I'm pregnant. He's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, but does he think? So he thinks that they died. Like he thinks that she died and the kids weren't born.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that because Palpatine's just like, oh, through your rage or whatever, like you killed her and she could not survive, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm just assuming Darth Vader. Yeah,
when he choked her out.
Yeah, when he choked her out, because lack of oxygen to the brain will kill a person. So I always assumed Darth Vader was like, oh, she's dead, and thereby, the kids must have died too. Because Obi-Wan was away from Padme for 45 minutes fighting Anakin. She had no medical attention whatsoever. She was literally just lying there, dying.
Yeah, and then they take her to give birth.
Yeah, and then she dies. Yeah, so fuck you again, Obi-Wan. It's your
fault. Yeah. I know. It's true. Like he's literally fighting with Anakin, and these two, and of course it's always the droids, right? Like I think 3CPO, C3PO, is he there?
I think he is there, but by the time Obi-Wan gets back to the ship, she's only just getting medical attention.
Yeah.
And it's been 45 minutes of her being unconscious with lack of oxygen to the brain. No wonder why she fucking died. The fact that she was even conscious enough to give birth is a miracle. Yeah. A baby only has, if something happens to a mother, a baby has 10 minutes in the womb. That's it. And she has twins.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, biology is different than a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, but I think it's a really good point that you brought up. Like, that's another thing that kind of probably obviously concerns Anakin is like, they're going to take his kids.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
They're going to just take them. The Jedi will take them. And that's
true.
another thing that he doesn't want to have happen.
Yeah, and I don't think it's ever actually mentioned that, oh, like his kids will be taken away, but like the assumption is like
that's what they do.
That's what they do, and they're obviously going to be force sensitive children. Like it's going to be a thing.
They will be trained, yeah, and you know, like the funny thing too, like if he hadn't have gone evil, you know, they'd have like put that same shit on the kids too, like, oh, you know, like they're the kids of Anakin. He was such a troublemaker, but we'll take them anyway. We'll take them.
Maybe it'll work this time.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to separate them, of course. They can't be together.
No.
They need to be in different pods.
Well, to me, it does actually make sense to separate them, because if they're in the same place, the odds of them both getting killed are like higher and stuff. It's like why you don't want all the mall security guards in the same place at the same time. It's like, okay, that's a bad idea. That's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
But I get why they get separated, but like, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, Anakin also professes his love to her, and she like refuses him. So again, it's ridiculous. So Obi-Wan is like, he's trying to send a message so he sends a message to the Jedi Council about like, hey, I found the stuff with Kamino. I found the bounty hunter. There's this clone army. Like, I don't know what's going on. And they're like, okay, capture Jango Fett, bring him back, and then we'll figure out what happens. He's like, okay, I'll do that. Sounds easy. So Anakin is having these dreams about his mom dying, and he's like, it's messing him up because he wants to do something about it. But again, you know, possession, attachment leads to the dark side.
Which it is really asinine and backwards, considering we know that actually having a stable mother figure or father figure in your life actually only benefits a child. So
yeah. So Padme is like, hey, let's just go to Tatooine and let's find her, let's save her, and I'll go with you. Okay, so then they go off to Tatooine. So Obi-Wan, he confronts Jango Fett. They get into a fight, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the fight. It's not bad.
Boba helps out a bit, which is kind of fun. And then he puts a tracker on the Slave One, aka the fire spray, as they call it now. And so he's basically going to track them to wherever they go. So Anakin meets with Watto on Tatooine, and Anakin's like, "Where's my mom, bro? I'm not kidding around. Like, I will kill you," basically. And he's like, "Oh, I sold her to this moisture farmer named Lars." It's like, okay, well, yeah, it's a familiar name. So is this a little too convenient that this whole thing happened, or is this okay?
Yeah.
It's too convenient.
I think it's way too convenient. It just happens to be there. This family this is not an enslaved family. Maybe they're poor. Maybe the Lars are poor, but clearly he's wealthy enough to buy a human being.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
I think it's gross. I think it's fucking gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So Jango notices that he's being tracked by Obi-Wan, so then he lays down these seismic charges through this asteroid field, and this is a really cool scene. I like this sound effect so much. This the sound of the seismic charge. I think they use it again in the Book of Boba Fett, but it's just like an awesome sound effect. The way that these seismic charges sound, and so like they're trying to kill him. Trying to kill Obi-Wan, and he's like having to dodge all these missiles and stuff, and they think they got him, but they don't got him. And so Obi-Wan, he makes it out, and so he sees, I think this is when they're going to Geonosis, and he follows them all the way down to Geonosis. So Anakin and Padme, they go to the large farm, they meet Owen and Beru, which is cool. Because these actors, they continue to play Owen and Beru,
the consistency is good. The consistency is good.
Yeah, and it's both of them, and they both reprise their roles in the Obi-Wan TV show. And so then the guy who bought Shimi is like, "Oh, well, she was taken by the Tuskens, and she's been gone for a month." And Anakin's like, "Well, I'm going to go and find her." So he takes off. and he talked to some what are those, the Jawas? He's like he's like he has a Jawa, like, where is she, dude? I know you know. So they're like, go that way, don't kill me. Yeah, exactly. So so Obi-Wan like basically finds out about this conspiracy that's going on. Like, they're all these separatists coming together. They're creating this droid army that's going to fight back against the Republic. And they're doing all this crazy stuff. And so he's trying to send it. So then Obi-Wan tries to send a message back, but then to the Jedi Council, but he's basically about to get stopped and captured and arrested. So then Anakin finds Shmi, but she's like dying, and so he like, he talks to her, and they like, this is crazy because they haven't seen each other since he was like a child. And this is like her last moment. And then she dies in his arms, and he goes full crazy at this point.
He goes fucking ballistic.
He goes ballistic, and he kills everybody. Anybody, doesn't matter what. Kills the dog, kills kills the kids, kills the women, kills the children, kills everything, anything and everything he can kill. He kills them all. And we see Yoda is like sort of sensing the disturbance of the Force, and
doesn't do dick about it though.
No, he's yeah, right. It's like, come on, like, he's killing people.
You literally sense Anakin in the most painful, traumatic, horrible moment of his entire existence, and I'm just gonna drop my cane and clutch my chest, pearl clutching. Oh my god! But by movie 3, you gave him a promotion. Is he a cop?
Well,
like, what's going on? Like, what is happening?
I mean, he kind of is a cop. Like, he's the classic. Like he's
It's like, what?
He's like Mel Gibson in fucking, what's it called?
Lethal Weapon. They only got promoted once, technically. But I do, like, it's literally just like the LAPD. It's just like, we just beat the shit out of some protesters. Okay, here's a badge.
Yeah.
Here you go, Captain.
Yeah. So you get 2 weeks of paid leave, and then you'll be back, and you're going to be promoted to sergeant.
It's just like I feel like there should be some consequences for that action, considering Jedi are supposed to preserve life. We're talking about a Sith baby in training, so he's.
I mean, I feel like the cop allegory is like very accurate, because that's basically what they're cops of the Republic.
They're just Space Force,
Yeah, and they come in, and they
just make everything worse. I feel like they're just making everything worse. They're like, I don't know who you're helping. Like, so he murders a whole bunch of Tusken raiders. It's just ugh.
So then Obi-Wan is trying to send a signal to everybody, but I think Anakin is like, he's not paying attention or something like that happened.
I think it makes it to the Jedi Council, and then they bounce it to Anakin and Padme.
Something like that. So then Anakin brings home Shmi's body, and he's like sad he couldn't save his mom, and he has this whole. This is another red flag. This is another huge red flag. He's like, I want to be able to save my mom. I don't want to keep anyone from dying. And I killed them all. I killed the women and the children and blah, blah, blah. I hate them. And again, like she starts consoling him.
It's like, he just really loved his mom. It's like, no, he apparently was never taught the concept of death and how to deal with it. And it's just so fucking. This movie is so immature.
I know.
So utterly, the whole movie is immature, and it just sends so many negative messages to the young, impressionable audience that are consuming it, and it's just,
yeah. And she just like forgives it. Like, again, this is another thing where you gotta, like, if you hear this, like, imagine if someone was like, I was so mad that what happened. So I killed 3 homeless people. I just killed them. I murdered them.
There was a guy going around like a few years earlier this year who was literally just going around shooting homeless people. Like I forget what city it was in. But yeah, he was literally stalking and murdering homeless people. And it's just like, yeah, like you can't do that, Anakin.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear that shit, you just got to be like, whoa, what? You killed what?
I was angry at the world, so I shot up a subway train. I was angry at Christianity, so I shot up a church, or Judaism. So I shot up a synagogue. Yeah. It's just like,
yeah. It's like, no, like
the only person responsible for how you react is you. That is it.
And like the only thing that you can really say is that, well, it's Tatooine and it's this place that's run by gangsters, and so, you know, there's no law that we can take you to like make you pay for what you did. But honestly, when we take you to Coruscant, like you need to be sanctioned by, you know,
someone, not rewarded. It's just, and again,
they get married at the end of this fucking movie.
Why isn't he mad at the guy who bought his mother and then married her? That is gross to me. Okay. Like that is really messed up.
This dude gives a speech about, oh, Shmi, she was the greatest wife a man could ever have. What?
That's so gross to me because we're not getting it from Shmi. What's her name? Sorry.
I think it's Shmi.
Shmi is not there to say, well, actually, I was a slave and had no choice.
She had no choice.
We don't get it from her. We only get this invalid piece of shit who literally bought a human being.
Yes, he bought her and then married her.
And it's just it's very.
Oh, we got married, like.
So it's okay? No, that's not okay. That
she had no choice. That is
okay. We admonish people who buy people and then marry them, actually, because the person you're buying has literally no say or choice in the matter. It's been.
Oh, and by the way, then he cared so much that he said, "Well, fuck it, I couldn't find her. I got jumped and and then they took her, and so you know it's like I lost my bike. Like, someone stole my bike."
Nah, he's a fucking creep. He's just as bad. He's just as bad.
Like, how can you call someone you bought your wife?
You can't. Like it's again, we're not getting it from Shimi's point of view at all. We just kill her.
Yeah.
We can't get any information from her and how she felt about being bought and married. Like, I think that's called slavery.
Yeah. No, I mean, he should have like Anakin should be like, wait, no. She was not your wife. She was my mother.
Yeah, like there's no dialogue from Anakin. So Anakin's okay with dictatorships, and he's okay with his mother being bought and married.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you should be just as mad at the guy who bought your wife as you
should. Should have killed them all. You should kill them all.
And fucking Owen and Beru are just fine with it.
I know.
They're just fine with it.
I mean, it's kind of messed up too because like
it's like you're like 25. You don't need a fucking stepmother anymore. It's like you were married with your own wife and complacent in your dad's like slave ownership. It kind of like, to be honest, it kind of makes the whole thing with Luke feel really kind of messed up when you think about it, because you're like, wait, do they basically just treat him like a slave? Yeah, what's going on with that?
Is he basically their slave? And it's kind of hard to, like, you know, again, the Obi-Wan TV show kind of tries to undo some of that. But you still like this, the way it's set up, you're just like, well, maybe they just see him as like, oh, well, this is like our slave that we're gonna, you know. No, you can't go to the academy.
No, you can't.
You will never go.
You can't go off planet. You can't have friends. You can't do. Oh well, it's just to protect him from Vader. It's like,
no.
And so is he just gonna stay there until he's dead? It's just like,
yes.
It's like
And then in his will they'll say, oh well, now that I've died, now I'll allow you to go into basically free him. Like that was probably the plan.
Yeah, it's just. It all just sends such a bad message.
Yeah. What does Luke say in the first in A New Hope? He says, like, if there's a bright spot to the universe, this is the planet it's furthest from.
Yeah. That's pretty sad. Like, that's actually really sad.
It is. That's why he wants to get the hell out of there. That's why he wants to get the hell. And he'd go with that nerf herder. Like, if that's what it takes for him to get the hell off that rock.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, they pick up the signal from Obi-Wan. They see him get attacked. He gets attacked by one of these. I forget what the name of those droids are.
Destroyers.
It sounds about right. Yeah, those are.
Which is funny because now they can identify what alien species might be there. Okay, so that narrowed your field of searching a little bit. What planets do they occupy? Like, and then Anakin's just like, hey, he's dead.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's like, well, he wants him to be dead, probably. Yeah,
probably. But he's like, I'm not going to go looking for him. Wow, you sound a lot like Lars right now.
Yeah. But he's so dead. then Padme's like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And then you're going to have to go with me. And so it's kind of funny, too, because, like, now she's also kind of, like, being a bad influence on him, ironically, because, like, this is the one time where he's actually going to listen to what they tell him. Don't get involved. Protect her. Stay where you are.
Yeah.
And she takes... Yeah. And then she takes him into this conflict.
She's like, Jesus, take the wheel. We're going.
Yeah, take the wheel. Oh, yeah. And then we get this great scene where we see them trick Jar Jar into proposing the emergency powers. Like, oh, if only someone would propose emergency powers so that we could fight this war.
If only you hadn't been such a dumbass, Jar Jar.
Poor Jar Jar. I feel bad for Jar. I mean,
I do kind of feel bad for him a little bit. He is being very manipulated.
You know, they set this up.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know, they wanted him. Like they wanted him to take over. They wanted to get his dumbass to do this because he's like, oh well, I'm gonna do this important thing, and
you had one job. Don't do what you did, Jar.
So I will say one thing about Jar Jar. This is not totally his fault.
No, it's not.
They should have impeached the Chancellor. after whatever the third year of this war, they should have impeached the Chancellor and removed him. And then had a peace treaty. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, but he loves democracy, and anyone who clearly does not have an ulterior motive. That's just facts.
Oh my gosh. I love democracy.
I love democracy. And he's like crossing his fingers behind his back.
I know. Oh my gosh. God. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. So this next scene is actually really interesting to me. So Obi-Wan is like arrested in one of these floating prison things. I don't know what the hell you call that. Some crazy Star Wars stuff. And Dooku is like, oh, well, I'm working with the Trade Federation under a Sith Lord and blah, blah, blah. And he basically tells him all the things that's going on. And Obi-Wan's like, that's not true. That's crazy. What do you make of this scene? Because he basically tells him what's going on. And that they should team up.
I think it's just a recruitment speech. It's just because Dooku comes rushing and he's like, my friend, oh my God, I can't believe you're in this mess. Like, this is so embarrassing. I'm gonna call HR right now. Do you want some catering? We got craft services. We got snacks. Are you vegan? We got vegan options. And he's just like, just spilling all this bullshit. Yeah. Meanwhile, he has not even tried to release Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then he gives his little recruitment speech. He's like, so, does any of this sound appealing to you? And Obi-Wan's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So basically the next step is, well, we should work for the Sith Lord. I mean, he's obviously better. We'd be better off.
You know, the Republic is just, super complacent, which is 100% true. They are. The Jedi have grown wicked complacent.
The Jedi are trash.
So I feel like the Sith just have got like better. Their healthcare plan is great. They got HMO. They got all this shit. They got PTO. Obi-Wan, when was the last time he went on a vacation? It's just like, we have cookies.
Yeah, and they have a totally different apprentice program, so you don't get stuck with So if your apprentice is an asshole, you kill him.
Yeah, you can just straight up kill him. Like, you don't get to kill the younglings at the Jedi Temple. Come on, don't tell me you haven't met a youngling you didn't want to shoot.
Want to kill? Like, come on.
Come on, mate.
We've all been there, you know.
But, Obi-Wan's supposed to be the good
guy.
guy.
my first apprentice, I strangled him in the womb. So
yeah, I just couldn't stand that little shit. He just wanted, feed me. Also, is there like some kind of nursery? Are there like midwives? Is there someone who's actually looking after the babies that they're kidnapping? Like, are they just taking them fresh?
I think there is. I think there is. I think we see them at one point because when they go to the temple or whatever, the Jedi temple, and they have the archives. There's an archive. That lady who runs the archive, she's not force sensitive. She's just a woman she's a librarian. So we need
our librarians in the world, but she didn't know dick. She was like, I don't think it exists.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
Can you read a star chart?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so Dooku gives his stupid little dopey hair lip recruitment speech.
Yeah. It doesn't work. So, yeah, Anakin and Padme, they arrive, and we get this crazy scene where they're fighting Destroy. Yeah.
I hate it. I hate this fucking factory scene so much.
Assembly line, yeah, this factory, and she falls into this thing, and then she's going to get killed, and then R2 saves her, and then 3CPO's head gets put onto
God. Yeah. Everything with 3CPO is just so fucking stupid. It's it's supposed to be comic relief, but I'm like, did you not learn anything with Jar Jar Binks? Like, it's not as bad, but it's just uncomfortable. It's not even funny. It's just uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah. So then they get brought into this arena once they get captured. And then Padme says, "Oh, I love you." She's
how?
I don't know. How? I don't know. I think you kind of like hit the nail on the head. This is a toxic relationship between two toxic people.
Yeah.
And they have both suffered. They both suffered in their lives. Both of them live in these really weird, strict societies, and that's kind of why I guess they. It's like if two people who are like ex-cult members meet up. I guess that's
therapy without
no therapy.
Without going to being deconverted. They just walk out one day and they find each other, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know what happens then? Then they're just like, oh, maybe we should start our own society.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. No, it's I don't know why people will call this a beautiful relationship. It's just sad. It's genuinely just such a depressing, sorry excuse for a relationship that is based on nothing. Yeah, literally, it's based on nothing. They have nothing in common. And granted, there's a lot of people like who say opposites attract. Like Ryan and I, like we don't have everything in common, but like we have enough things to build on to create a foundation of something that is a healthy relationship. Hadley and Anakin don't have that.
But also, like, he encourages you. He loves you. It's not like...
and he doesn't say what I've been doing. And he doesn't say that, like, what I think is stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like, he literally insulted your life's work. Your whole life's work is democracy and civil service. And he, in a few sentences, said he thought it was stupid.
I think it's dumb, and I think that you should hail Trump or whatever.
It's like he's 2 seconds away from being from goose stepping. Okay, so let's just like
he is, yeah.
He's Ralph from The Sound of Music. That's who he is, and nobody liked Ralph. Okay, he sucked.
Or like, do you remember that movie? Oh man, Christian Bale was in it. It was about a bunch of kids in Germany.
Oh, Germany.
Remember, there was a bunch of kids in Germany, and they listened to like jazz music.
Oh, Newsies?
Yeah.
I think never saw it, actually. I know what it is. I've never seen it though.
Yeah, but basically that movie was like, they're all friends, and they basically Hitler's coming to power, and so obviously some of the friends turn into Nazis, and some of them
depressing.
don't.
Yeah, Anakin's just Hitler youth. That's all he is.
Yeah, he's like he he would be like so ecstatic. He's like, I really just like believe in I want to be a part of the nation. I'm part of something now.
And that's very powerful. That's very, very powerful. Again, going back to what we were saying earlier about how do countries or places let these people, rise to power? Because it's appealing. Because
and by the way,
when these things happen, there's some kind of instability within that country or society already that these people take advantage of.
Yeah, and that person in this whole story is Palpatine.
Yeah.
It's Palpatine. Like, he loves Palpatine. And that's another thing that's sprinkled throughout is, like, in the background, like, they'll talk about it. And Anakin's like, yeah, I really like Palpatine. And Obi-Wan's like, no, he's a conniving dude who cares about power. Like, he's not a good dude. He's like, I don't know. I really like what he wants to build this wall.
Yeah, no, I've gone to a few rallies. I have some merch. I got an autograph. Like, I think I'm gonna go to one this weekend. You want to come? Like, I got a flag. I take selfies with it.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like, and it's so funny, like, how perceptive Obi-Wan is. Like, you just see all these lines where he's like, I don't like this dude Palpatine. Like, Obi-Wan's straight up like, I don't like him. And all he wants is power. And I think even in the third movie, there's something where Obi-Wan's like, this guy's never giving up power. Like, he's never gonna do it. And Anakin's like, well, no, he has to take the power. Like, there's just all these problems and all these all these things that he has to, like, you don't understand, man. You don't understand how hard it is to, like, to deal with all these things. He's like, Obi-Wan's like, no, dude, you don't get it. Like we're here fighting for democracy. At least that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but, like, I'm not here to fight for this dude. I'm fighting for the Republic. So, yeah, I mean, he has all of the red flags, like, all of them. Every single one of them. And that's the other thing, too, is, like Palpatine strokes his ego. It's like, oh, yeah, you're so smart.
Yeah. He doesn't care about Anakin. He's a means to an end.
You're the chosen one. You're the perfect Aryan. I mean, you're the perfect Jedi.
You're the perfect Aryan.
I mean, yeah, he falls for hook, line, and sinker because he's a freaking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jedi are kind of at fault. They don't steer him in the right direction. They don't help him. They piss on him and they treat him like he's trash.
Pretty much.
And he becomes resentful.
Yep.
Oh, you're too old. Like, what? It's like 7.
9.
Too old he is.
What is too old? Like, because Obi-Wan has memories of his family.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like, I didn't start making memories till I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not sure what year it was.
Yeah. Somewhere in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere between 1990 and 1994. Something started being retained.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so yeah, we get this weird thing. Oh, I love you. I deeply, sincerely. Like, also, by the way, she didn't need to say that. She did not need to go into this soliloquy that's just...
No, that's just George Lucas fapping. He's just like, yeah, she loves him. Yeah, she loves him so much. Becky Johnson in the 4th grade. You wish you had said this to me.
And by the way, the thing that's so unfortunate too is like it's like a perfect, like, they're both really young and attractive, and all of this stuff, the settings, like the forbidden love, like, this should work, but it just does not work at all.
If they had started it at episode 1 with them both being age appropriate, maybe I would have bought that they had some kind of connection. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. There's nothing there that should tell me these are two people who are in love with each other. The only thing that's telling me that they should hook up is their mutual shared hormones. Yeah. That is literally it.
I mean, yeah. Super horny. Okay, so they get brought into this arena, and Obi-Wan is like, oh, you're here, and you're captured. Good job.
He's like, well, we came to rescue you, and everyone's like, yeah, fuck you. You did dick. And sucks.
So then each one of them basically, like they unleash these beasts on them.
Release the hounds.
Yeah, and each one of them has to fight this thing 1-on-1, basically. So Anakin gets to fight a bull. Padme gets to fight this like tiger thing, and Obi-Wan gets this giant praying mantis. And so we get some fun stuff, and then we also get the whatever those the Asian stereotype aliens. They come in again with some really shoot her! Don't let her live.
So bad. It's so bad. She can't do that. I'm like,
she can't do that. Like, what the fuck,
why?
dude?
Eventually, she's probably gonna get tired, and then the tiger will get her, and then you have nothing to worry about. Like, why don't you shut the fuck up?
It's just they're just depicted as such like fucking cowards. It's like,
it's very
how can you not see that this is like a problematic representation? They're fish-faced aliens that sound Far East Asian. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
And they're always these cowering, like, I'm so scared. You must do something, white man. Save me. Like, what the fuck?
It's awful. It's awful.
It's god awful, man. Anyway, so they're fighting. And I mean, this scene's kind of cool. Padme, she's like, she there's even a line where Andy's like, oh, what are we going to do? We have to save, we have to do something. And then Obi-Wan's like, well, I think Padme can take care of herself. Because she's
the only one actually formulating a plan to like protect herself. She's going to higher ground.
Yeah,
like,
she's trying to higher ground. I mean, she has no powers. She has no powers, and she's fighting.
Have a weapon. She has no powers, but she's just like, okay, I'm gonna go up here, and you guys can die down here. That's fine.
Yeah, she slips herself something to unlock her.
Probably a bobby pin or some shit.
She slips a bobby pin, climbs up there, uses the chains to like beat this tiger back.
At least discourage it a little bit, yeah.
She then does some kind of acrobatic move to kick it, and injure it. But yeah, basically, Anakin uses the Force to subdue the bull and like kind of control it. He then runs over the cat creature. And then the Jedi show up like in the Mace Windu that comes out of nowhere and puts a lightsaber to Jango's throat.
This party is over.
Yeah. He said something recently, Samuel Jackson. He's like, you know what? I don't want to win an Oscar anymore. I just want to play. I either want to do an MCU movie or do a Star Wars movie. That's all I want to do.
Good for him. You know what? He's made it to the point where if that's what he wants, good for him. Go ahead.
Yeah. And he's legitimately probably one of the most famous actors in history.
Yeah.
I think I would probably say that he is the most successful actor in history. I think I would go on record saying that. In terms of like, everybody's seen a Samuel Jackson movie, basically.
Oh yeah, he has a really vast body of work for sure.
Yeah, I think there was this thing that they on Letterboxd, which is a cool website for film ratings and stuff. They do this tally where they see like, okay, who's the most of all the reviews that people submit, what's the actor who has the most roles that people basically watch, and he's consistently number one. So he's super popular.
I think part of that is that again, he has a very vast body of work. Most of his movies are incredibly successful. He's very watchable. He's good at what he does. I mean, being popular is one thing. Being good and popular is, that's just like lightning in a bottle. He's in tons of iconic movies.
Yeah.
Tons of iconic movies. What's the scene everyone remembers the most from Deep Blue Sea? Is his death.
Getting eaten by a shark.
They don't give a shit about the shark. They give a shit about how he dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great. And also, he just seems very humble. Like, whenever I watch him in interviews, he always seems pretty humble. Politically active. He's been married to the same woman for like 50 years, which means, hey, that guy can commit. Cool. Got a great sense of style. He's funny. When he read the book, he did the audiobook for Go the Fuck to Sleep. Like, that's one of my favorite things. That's one of my favorite freaking things he's ever done.
Yeah.
And again, he just does seem humble. I was watching an actors roundtable with him, and one of them was the young guy who's playing Magic Johnson. I think it's in an HBO show. Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks really, really good. And he was like the youngest actor at the table, surrounded by all of these, like Brian Cox was there, Samuel Jackson, Oscar Isaac, just like Tom Hiddleston. It's just like the roster was stacked. And, he was just like, him and Samuel L. Jackson just had a moment together for a minute of just like talking about like the other ends of like the spectrum, they're bookends, in a lot of ways to one another. And the young guy happened to mention, he's like, yeah, before we started filming, I went to therapy. And Sam Jackson was like, wait, you did what? He's like, yeah, I went to therapy because I knew if the show was really successful, I wasn't going to be able to handle that without preparing myself mentally and emotionally for it. Like, he's like, because strangers are coming up to me now and they're asking for my autograph, or they're saying good job, or they're taking pictures of me, or just filming me when I'm eating a salad. And Sam Jackson was like, that is one of the most mature things I've ever heard a young actor say. And he just like gave him props, and I thought that was super sweet. And I thought it was really nice. Totally. And I'm like, yeah, good for you, Sam Jackson. Like, that's really cool. Not a single person at the table put him down for, oh, you went to therapy for that or whatever. It's a very good, really cool moment between two actors, again, at separate ends of the career spectrum, I guess. I don't know. I just like that.
Yeah, no, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
And one of the fun things in this is that he basically picked his lightsaber color. He asked George, like, hey, can I get a purple lightsaber? And he was like, sure.
Why not?
And it's very iconic. There was never a purple lightsaber before he did, and it definitely makes his character very unique.
Yeah, makes him stand out. Makes him stand out a little bit more.
Yeah. And it's all very cool. So the Jedi are there. Then all the droids show up. They start blasting them. Jango shoots a flamethrower at him. He does this crazy jump into the arena. They're fighting off these droids.
Droids and bug creature things.
They get cornered. They're outnumbered. And then the clone army arrives. Oh my god, they saved the day. Yeah. And Yoda's there too. Yoda's like on the ship. And so then they're fighting. Mace Windu chops Jango Fett's head off.
I do love that moment because I feel like Jango starts out pretty confident, and then Mace is just charging him and deflecting every layer. And you see Jango kind of, it looks like he's almost lowering his weapon, almost in shock.
Yeah.
And he kind of stumbles a little bit, and then bam.
Yeah. He cuts off his hand and he cuts off his head. Like it's really bad.
Yeah, it's actually a cool moment. I actually like it because Mace Windu, he's a complacent Jedi, but he's kind of a badass. So.
Oh, he is the ultimate badass.
Yeah.
He is the ultimate badass.
Badass motherfucker.
Oh my god, he's got the lightsaber that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yes, he does.
So then the Jedi start winning this fight because of the clone army. So then they all start to retreat. We see the Death Star plans, which is kind of cool. They have this little thing like, oh, we can't let them get this thing that we're building, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's kind of cool to see that it's, it starts all the way back here. The idea of creating the Death Star. So Dooku retreats, and then they kind of go after him. They fly after him. Padme gets thrown off the ship. Padme! And then,
we have to go back. And everyone's like, we fucking going back? She's fine. She rolled down a hill.
Yeah, she rolled down a hill.
Like 10 feet. She's okay. And don't worry, a CGI stormtrooper is going to run up and help her at any second.
It's just so bad.
It's so bad. I'm like, you couldn't get a guy in a suit?
Or you couldn't have just even on the soundstage, just created a little hill of sand and dropped her onto that, because everything looks fake, and it looks like she's talking to nothing.
Yeah, maybe because she had a freaking tennis ball to work with.
No, we can't do that. We have to get with the other ones over there. Okay.
Natalie, can you look at the tennis ball a little more?
I feel so bad. And again, that's one of the things that I do like about the sequel trilogy is that in The Force Awakens, they establish, okay, we're going to have real sets. We're going to go back to where we shot the first one. We're going to go to wherever that was, Tunisia. We're going to go to Tunisia. We're going to shoot there. We're going to do it. Because it looks totally different. It
looks so much better. I mean, for whatever faults I have for those movies, at least they look better.
Yeah, it looks real.
It just looks like a straight to VHS hunk of junk.
Yes, it does. It does. And to be fair to them, like they were doing some cutting edge stuff. This is the first feature film ever shot completely digitally. And so yeah, I mean that's a big deal. Digital film now to this point is like basically equivalent to the best film you can shoot on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally 20 years later, you know. But this was like, I would say detrimental to the film, like, because again, like you can tell when they're on a soundstage. I mean, even the scene when they're on that, whatever that vehicle is, where they're flying after him, it's just like, this isn't real. There's nothing real here other than
there's nothing to make me think it's real. You know what I mean? There's nothing to make me think it's real. You know, like I was wondering why, because I was watching these. I love watching scientists reacts or historian reacts or something like that. And I was watching one about Jurassic Park. Like this one guy, this one paleontologist was literally reacting to just scenes from Jurassic Park movies. And they got to the 1993 one, and it was with the Dilophosaurus. And the Dilophosaurus in the movie is nothing like what it was in real life.
Yeah.
But I paused it for a second. I was just thinking, I was like, why does that still look so amazing? And one of the reasons why is because it was actually a puppet, first of all. And second of all, the eyes of every dinosaur in the 1993 Jurassic Park movie, I believe it's a real animal. The eyes make them feel so real. Like the T-Rex's eye when it comes down, like in the vehicle, and it's just like processing, and it looks like it's thinking, and it's just everything in these Star Wars movies. It's just dead eye. It's just everything is just so dead eye and fake that I still get scared when a fucking raptor pops up somewhere. Like when the raptor's looking at Dr. Grant through the door, and it's just like glances at the door knob, and it's like, handles, I'm like, that looks like an animal that's figuring something out. Like that, the eyes are literally the window to the soul. And if you got me to believe that this thing is somehow even remotely real, if you got me to suspend my reality for a few seconds, like you did your job. But again, everything, Yoda's dead-eyed. Yoda doesn't have anything in him. Even with the puppet was completely dead-eye and creepy. Like, but so yeah.
Yeah, like they somehow made a worse puppet than the original trilogy. How the fuck did that happen?
The puppet in A New Hope is so adorable and cute, and he's a little mischievous, and he's going through his shit. I'm just like, yeah, that's cute. Like his eyes are so lifelike that I believe it's real. I believe E.T. is like, but with everything in these Star Wars movies, it's just like, yeah, it's just dead-eyed monsters. That's what it is. It's just crazy.
It's like, what happened? How did things get worse? How are things going forward and getting worse?
And Jurassic Park came out in 1993.
I mean, especially the Dilophosaurus, especially like when he's looking at it and it's out in the bushes. Like that's like the most perfect.
It looks like an animal that's figuring something out. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, and it looks like you could imagine that you were there and you saw that thing. It would be kind of fucking scary. It's like,
it'd be pretty scary.
I need to get away from that thing. That is a living animal.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how it's going to react to me. I need to get away from it.
Yep. I love it.
But no, like in this movie, it is all green screens. It is oh man, what was that movie? Sky Captain. It is straight up Sky Captain. Everything's fake. Everything's green screen. Everything's blue screen. There's nothing real. Nothing.
Yeah, and inherently, like that will affect an actor's performance. Yeah. It will. it will affect their performance.
Yeah. Because there's nothing there except green walls.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then Obi-Wan and Anakin, they catch up to Dooku and they fight him. And Anakin is this arrogant little boy. It's like, we're going to take him. No, I'm going to take him right now. And he gets blasted.
And he gets fucked up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then Obi-Wan and Dooku fight. Dooku beats Obi-Wan, messes him up, like kind of chops up his leg a little bit. Dooku fights Anakin, and it's a little bit closer of a fight, but he does still win. Dooku wins, and he chops his arm off. Another dismemberment.
Yep.
And then, hey, Yoda shows up, and then we get some real fun. So Yoda and Dooku fight, and we see Yoda fighting for the first time in any film, and it's just like absolutely wild. He's flying around, he's flipping around, he's somersaulting, he's doing backflips.
Yeah, I don't actually hate it.
Oh, I love it. I remember like
I think it's adorable, honestly.
I remember when I saw that in theater, like it was kind of funny too, because like me and my friends, we were out. It was like me and my friends and my mom, and we're just like doing whatever, and then we saw it theater, like, oh, Star Wars movies out. It's like, oh shit, let's go. Let's just go and watch. So we just watched it on a whim. And it's like, oh, it's whatever. I'm enjoying it. Because like, look, I knew these films were bad. Like after the first one, I was like, these movies are all gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoyed them because look, it's Star Wars for me. I don't really care,
cool. That's cool.
And when Yoda started flipping around, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah. No, it's cute. That's the thing. Like if I was Count Dooku and I saw that little cute green guy flipping around and being all cute, I'd be like, "Aw."
Yeah.
And then he'd probably kill me. But like,
yeah, I mean, he's lethal. He's a lethal little guy.
Yeah, he's really cute. I love when he catches like the lightning or whatever. He's just like,
yeah,
like it's so cute. I'm just like, I can't be mad at you. But the puppet's still cuter. Not the prequel puppet, the original puppet.
Yeah, I know the prequel puppet is horrific.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Again, fucking
like,
dead.
Why couldn't you get the same puppet? Did someone steal the puppet? Did someone destroy the puppet? Like, what happened?
I think it was just George being fucking having his hubris and being like, we can make it better. We can make it blah, blah, blah. Fuck Stan Winston.
And then they straight up they use that puppet in the first film, and then what you see on Disney Plus is the one where they put in the
they just completely erased it. They're like, no, we can't. We can't keep perpetuating this puppet.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And I will say one thing. I think that when we talk about Revenge of the Sith, there's some incredible shots of Yoda in Revenge of the Sith. I think it's astronomically better, the CGI that they have on Yoda in the third film.
I vaguely remember being a little bit more improved.
The first and second film, not so much. But yeah, the third film, I liked it a lot more. But yeah, I did like the scene with him fighting. Yeah! And he's like spinning around. I loved it. It was great. But yeah, unfortunately, he's unable to defeat Dooku. Dooku gets away, but he does save Anakin and Obi-Wan from being crushed by this thing. So, that matters a little bit more. But yeah, and so begun the Clone Wars have, as Yoda says later.
You know what I like? Hi. You know what I like about Yoda choosing not to pursue Dooku is that he chooses to preserve life instead.
Yes.
Something that those two numbskulls he just saved can't seem to wrap their head around.
No, they really can't. The film ends with Padme and Anakin getting married in secret on Naboo.
I don't know how we got there, but we got there. We got there somehow.
And then she soon gets knocked up. So, yeah, it's funny. She's like, Annie, I'm pregnant. What are we going to do? Well,
you don't have any rights anymore, so I guess we're not doing a whole lot.
You know what would be funny? Like, because, like, the very on-brand thing is to, like, yeah, he would say, the thing he would actually say would be something like, well, you know what you can't do, right? Like, he would say some shit.
Well, you know what you can't do, Padme. Also, her pregnancy progresses really fast.
It does, yeah.
Like, by the time she gives birth, she's not showing. I mean, she's showing.
Well, she was
But
hiding.
she's not
too, right?
like 9 months showing, which again is like why I think that like Luke and Leia were had to have been premature. Like they had to have been premature. Even at 20 weeks, you're not like my friend Emily in her first pregnancy. Even at 20 weeks, like you could probably just assume she wasn't pregnant. It wasn't until she got to like the very end, like the last like 8 weeks or so, is when she really got big. And it's just I don't think she was that far along. It's just like unless she was like really pregnant when he got back, because he might have been gone for a while. We don't know how long.
Yeah, the clones, and this is kind of another thing that I don't know. I just kind of don't like is that the Clone Wars is talked about in just like one line in the in A New Hope. Oh, you fought in the Clone Wars?
You served my father in the Clone Wars, or you fought in the Clone. Yeah, it's like 2 lines. That's it.
2 lines, and it's like, whoa, what is this Clone War? You know, what happened? What is this whole deal? We never really see it in a film.
I was literally just gonna say, I can't tell you, Luke, because nobody saw it. Can't tell you.
And the Clone Wars are actually like a really interesting time period. Why couldn't we get a movie that's about the war and the battle? Like it's because so complex.
We had to focus on Anakin and Padme's stupid, baseless, poor excuse for a relationship, and it just doesn't work.
I feel like there's a lot of good material in these prequel films in terms of like the story. The execution was extremely poor.
Oh yeah, it's just missed opportunity, wasted opportunity after another, and it's just come here.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's like you said, like why didn't they start at the movie where he's a little bit older in the first movie? Why wasn't this movie?
You can make him like 16 or something like that. Maybe don't like Padme 16, like them being like just young. You could just make them young. So by the time we get to these following movies, we can at least have some semblance of a relationship. You know, maybe they were communicating in secret. You know, maybe he was like subtweeting that shit. And he was like, they were sending pics and whatever. Maybe they had some kind of like secret hidden communication or something like that. But we didn't.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And like, it would be nice if we had one film that was about the Clone Wars.
Yeah, at least one.
At least one.
Like, make Anakin a turncoat during the Clone Wars when they think they're gonna win. Oh, we're gonna win and stuff like that. And then Order 60 fucking whatever, like, gets passed down and he's getting manipulated and stuff like that. Like, it's just, I get it, just wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because like there's some good stuff there. There's some potential, and it feels a bit squandered by the fact that he got obsessed with just like I'm everything green screen. That
they just look like trash.
That was detrimental to the performances. Something he already seemed to not care about.
No.
And that made it worse. So then, unfortunately, that puts the actors basically on an island. You can't get feedback from your director, and it's you in a green wall.
I think
you have to act across from.
Exactly. And I think George Lucas cared. I just think he cared about the wrong things. I think he just cared about the wrong things. He hadn't written anything in I don't know how long. He hadn't directed a movie. Like, and he's just going to come back and revitalize this brand. I'm sorry, but sometimes you need help. You can't do it. That's why we have peer review. Like, you can't just do it all yourself. One draft or one go, write it on a weekend, and then be like, yep, that's done.
So he actually, I think this is the only one of the prequels where there are multiple writers credited.
You probably needed them. They could fix this stuff. You know how many writers were on Catwoman? 20.
I don't know. You know what's funny? So they said that if it ever comes out, the Flash movie, they said that it had over 20 credited writers is what was going to come out in the final, whatever you want to call that. There will be over 20.
That does not give me a lot of faith.
No,
I already can't stand
hell
the
no.
DC universe. I can't fucking stand it. And Ezra Miller seems like a really, really weird person, like a really toxic
Oh,
person.
Ezra Miller is out of fucking control. I mean,
Yeah,
straight up out of control.
he
You
needs
know the thing?
help. He needs help. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
I think there needs to be an intervention, and there needs to be an inpatient, like stay. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, I
You're going to stay
genuinely
at a
think that he's
hospital
going to hurt
for a
someone.
while.
If he hasn't hurt someone already, he's going to hurt someone or himself.
I
Like,
mean, it's almost
not-
to the point where it's like you expect the end is someone dead, someone else dead.
That's the fear, is that he's going
Yeah.
to hurt someone, or again, put someone in a position where they hurt him. And it's not like, yeah, the amount of people that I just like that he's attacked is just like, the wrong person is going to fuck you up, dude. Like, you were going to piss off the wrong person and they're going to fuck you up. And you can't cry, oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z. No, it's because you're literally going out and attacking people, and people are going to defend themselves.
Yeah, it's and like it's just more bad news keeps coming out over and over every day. Got into a fight with this person, got into a fight with Austin Butler in
He
Japan.
broke into someone's house.
That shit is scary too.
Like, he literally, I'm literally telling you, if he had broken into the person's house who had a fucking gun and at the
you're
red,
dead.
he would be dead.
You're dead.
And they would.
Well, I'm to be honest, I'm scared for the people who they're busting in on, because like in that situation, Ezra Miller busts in, says, "Oh, you're a whore," to the wife. "Oh, you're a whore. I'm gonna kill you, you effing slut." It's like, what? And there seems to be this repeated sort of violence against women.
Yeah, there definitely is a theme. I saw a video of him choking like a fan.
Oh, the choking. And you know what's crazy about the choking? So I feel like that person was maybe like paid off or something, because they didn't say shit. But now recently someone interviewed them, and that woman was like, "Oh yeah, well I said something to Ezra Miller, and then motherfucker just jumped on me and started choking on me." And like she said, like as a joke, "Oh, you want to fight? Like, I could fight you, bro." And Ezra Miller fucking choked her out and was like, "Oh, you want to fight now, bitch?"
Yeah,
It's
and the
like,
person who was filming put the camera down, was like, "Dude, stop. Like, this is not funny. Like, he's going to piss off the wrong person and he's going to get hurt." Like, and it's not
Yeah.
and we're at a very critical time where someone needs to intervene and help him. Like, they need to.
Yeah.
And it's just not,
because the next thing is like someone dies.
Yeah. And the people he's antagonizing are just like, those are people you don't want to fuck with. Like, I literally saw a video of him antagonizing a chapter of the KKK, and I'm like, you do not want to. Like, I love that you hate the KKK. I'm right there with you, boo. But
I mean, look, at least if you're gonna die, you'll die in a blaze of glory fighting KKK. That seems like the positive outcome.
I don't think they will. I don't think Ezra Miller will die in a blaze of glory. I think it'll be utterly fucking tragic, and he's going to take people with him. And that's going to be an ultimate fucking tragedy. And it'll be another one of these Hollywood things of like, how did we not see the sign?
No, motherfucker, we saw the signs. This crazy son of a bitch was choking out people, and at that point we were like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Something has to just stop.
Yeah, somebody
like,
has
you
to
can't
intervene.
choke somebody like that.
No, you can't choke somebody. Like, it's fucking dangerous. You can't do that. As someone who's been on the receiving end of someone trying to choke me, it's not fun. It's not fun. And it's not cool. It's not cute from they were just drunk. They were just this. I'm like, it's not there's no excuse for that. There's literally no excuse for that. And he's like, he's gonna piss off the wrong person. And you don't want to keep drawing that kind of attention to yourself. And what is it that Vision says in I think Avengers Civil War, where he's just like, strength invites challenge and something of that nature. And it's just, I don't see it ending well for them. I hope to God that they get help. I really, really do. I don't want another Hollywood tragedy of people being like, where did they go wrong? It's just like,
yeah, no, same here, because like, you know, it's never fun seeing someone melt down like this.
No. I think there's something genuinely wrong with them, and I don't think it has
100%.
anything to do with like however they identify or whatever. I think that there's something that I think that this is a cry for attention and help.
And the thing is too, like when this is the other, when people enable you and you have all this money, wealth, and power, and like people are basically not doing anything to stop you. Why are you going to stop? You could fly to any fucking country and go. And like the scary stuff too is like, again, it's always women. There was a video of Ezra Miller getting thrown out of a bar, and the bouncer was a woman. So this woman is pushing him out of the bar, like, get the fuck out of here. And it's like, what is going on? What the hell is going on? Why are you busting into bars in Hawaii and people have to throw you out?
Yeah, and why are you harassing women? Like, what are your issues, dude? Like, you need some help. Like, whatever issues you may have against women, like, you need to suss that shit out. Because that's not healthy, and it's not setting a good example for your fans either at all.
No. Whatever fans are left.
Well, yeah, whatever fans are left, they seem to be retreating very quickly.
I mean, there's no way to justify the behavior.
No.
No,
it's sad.
It's baffling. It's like, dude, you need to stop, and you need to, you need help. You need to go somewhere and take, be at a facility for a couple months. I mean, what's crazy too is I honestly think that it's actually something that could be resolved. Like, imagine Ezra Miller goes to a facility for like 3 months, comes out and says, yeah, this, that, or that person died, and it was really hard for me. So I just went crazy.
Did someone die in his life? Like, was there something that was like the tip of the spear for this, or?
That's what people are saying, that there was some kind of death, a family-related death that kind of started the spiral.
Yeah, because that's like, I don't even think like 3 months is enough. I feel like this is whatever they're going through is like long-term. Like, you need long-term psychoanalysis.
I'm saying the amount of time before the contractual.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why like Amanda Bynes only spends a week in therapy or a week in wherever, or why Britney Spears only stayed in rehab for a month. It's just like, oh, we got to go on tour. Are you fixed? Are you better now? Are you not broken anymore?
Yeah,
because we spend a lot of
PR spin job. It's a PR spin job. I mean, basically, while you're there, you're getting fed PR line. Okay, so we need you to post this on social media so that you can, look like you're clean and blah blah blah, and then do this charity and blah blah blah, do this and that. We need you to donate to the anti-violence against women, this, that and the other. Because these corporations don't give a shit. Like they don't care if Ezra Miller dies tomorrow. Just don't lose his money.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care about him.
They don't care at all.
At all.
The well-being of, it's like, you're not a human. You are a profit module. That's it. Anyway, so next thing we're going to talk about is Revenge of the Sith.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. You don't underestimate my power. A lot of fun ones. Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't try it.
I have the high ground. It's like, man, if all you had to do was cut his fucking legs off, I mean, why didn't you do that sooner?
I know.
In the dismemberment, my
God.
there.
Does he say that in Revenge of the Sith? Isn't that where he says hello there? When he hello
there. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite gifs. Fucking love it.
Yeah, he pops in on Grievous. So yeah, we'll talk about that next, and then yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about Solo. So yeah, that's something for you guys to look forward to. But yeah, we got through this. I legitimately, this is my least favorite of all the Star Wars films.
Yeah, it's a turd.
This film is not good.
No.
But hey, they can't all be a winner. So.
No.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for stopping by, and take care, and may the Force be with you.
Live long and prosper.